Today I'm going to show you guys how to do motion tracking in Blender. We're going to be creating a video just like this in Blender today, and I'm using Blender 4.5.5, but other versions should work. To get started, we're going to create a new project, so we're going to click General, and now we want to click up here and then go to VFX and motion tracking. Then we're going to click open and open up our video. Once we got our video opened up, we're going to set our scene frames and we're going to prefetch. Once that is done, we're going to change our match keyframe to previous frame and we're going to normalize. Then we're going to go to our tracking settings and we're going to put this on 0.9. Now we're going to make sure we're on the first frame, and then we're going to press detect features. Now we can open up this right here and we can change some of these settings. With margin, as you guys can see when I increase, you can see what it does. These things that you see on the screen, these are our tracking nodes, and these are what it uses to track. You can actually add your own tracking nodes by pressing add and then clicking around the place to put down nodes. You should be clicking on things that are easy to spot. That'll help with the computer with tracking. But if you're too lazy like me, you can just click detect features, get a bunch of random points all over the screen, and then we'll continue from there. Now you can edit things like your threshold, so we're going to be putting this on 0.2. Our distance, so we're going to be putting this on 100. So as you can see, we got a few more points in here. But be careful with how many nodes you have, because if you have too many, then you can lag out your computer really easily. Now you want to press Control T, that's going to track it forward, and then don't let go of anything. You guys can still see that they're yellow, which means they're still selected. And now you want to press Control Shift T and it's going to run it backwards. Now we're going to click this button right here to go to our last frame, and now we're going to press detect features again, and now we're going to press Control Shift T to run it backwards, and now we're going to press Control T to run it forwards. Now we're going to click in the middle of our video, we're going to press detect feature, we're going to run this forward, we're going to run this backwards, and then forwards again. And I think that's good. The next step is we're going to click solve on the left, and then we have to pick our keyframe A and keyframe B. These should be like the most vital part of your video where the most stuff is going to happen. I think this part right here is pretty good, so we're going to go from like 170 to like 220 perhaps. So let's write 170 to 220. We're going to click solve camera motion. And now it's going to do some stuff and it's going to give us a number right here. You want your number to be around 1 or less. Now, the higher the number, the more like unstable it is, and when you try to do motion tracking, you're gonna realize there's things off and it doesn't look right. And if your thing doesn't look right, we can solve that. If you open up your thing like this, you'll see a lot of stray lines around the place. These are your nodes as they move around. So we want to just click on each of these that look off, like this right here, and we can just delete them. Alright, I've deleted a lot of the nodes that look really off to me, so now we're gonna press camera solve again. Alright, that got a little better, but not that much. So what we can also do is press clean up right here and press clean track, and then pull this up until we got a few frames, and then we're just going to delete them. And now we're going to solve our camera motion. I recommend you do a little at a time because sometimes you might just break the whole thing and it won't work anymore. So then let's press clean tracks again. Let's grab a little bit and we're going to delete, and then we're going to solve our camera motion. And as you guys can see now, we got 0.7, which is really good. Now, next step is that we're going to actually put this in our scene. So we want to find a point in the video where we got some floor or some nodes on the floor. So here, let's select some points. So 1, 2, 3. This seems like a floor to me, so we're gonna use these 3 points that represent the floor and click floor. That'll put the floor down, and then we're gonna click on one of them and set that as the origin, and another one of them and set that as the x-axis. Now also, if you guys record your scene in real life, you want to measure things out, which will help with scaling. For example, if we click here and here, and we say that's about like 0.2 meters because it uses meters, we're going to click here with these selected, set scale, and press 0.2, and hopefully it'll make it scale better, but if it doesn't, you can always rescale stuff, it's fine. Now we're going to press set as background, and we're going to press set up tracking scene. Now if you see this video up here in the top, you'll see that we actually got some video up here, but it's kind of crazy looking, so we're going to go to our layout tab and fix it up. This cube, if we press N on our keyboard, we can open up this menu right here on the side. I put everything on 0.5, and then we're going to move it up by 0.5. Now if we go back to motion tracking, we can actually check if it looks better, and it's a bit smaller, but I think the scaling needs work. So let's go to scaling, to set scale, and let's just mess with it until it looks okay. Alright, I think the scaling looks okay now. Now let's go to layout and let's check our view. So if we go to camera view, now we can play our video. We can see that it looks pretty okay, but there's a few things you might notice. First of all, the colors are a little off, everything looks a little gray, but we can easily fix that. If you go to video, if you go to camera up here in your scene collection, then we go down here, data, then we go to background images. We can click on render undistorted, which will help out, and then we can also change our opacity up and make all the colors come back. Additionally, if we click to render right here, we can turn off motion blur unless you want that, then go to film, press transparent, and then go to color management, and we're going to change the AGX and we're going to put that on standard. That'll fix some of the colors up and we should be good. Now if you're in your render properties, we can actually go here and set Eevee on cycles. We're going to put it on GPU because I have a GPU. I'm going to use denoise, but that's just a personal preference. Then we're going to go to our foreground where we can delete this and we can delete our background. Then up here, we can click on background and X out of this. Now if we go up here, if we click here, it'll start rendering in and we can see it pretty well. Now if you see that it looks kind of like AI generated or whatever, that's just the denoise. It makes it so it's not so noisy. When you actually render this out, it's going to look great. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Adios.